Hello everyone, today I will cover how to cause stability in your realm, and I'm going through a few pieces. So we will start with the easy one, the religion. Now what you see is not a game of stability, but I will go through everything that I can show you. Now there are a few tenets in this game that help your stability in the game. And I'm going to go through a few others that are confusing. Okay, so we are starting with adaptive. It's the first confusing one. It says all pagans get like more opinion, less likely to join independent factions, populist factions, blah blah blah. That's only infidel vassals, right? So if you are adaptive, that means that the infidel vassals, so other religions, are less likely to join your against you. I'm sorry, and that's pretty much not needed because usually you don't install people that are not of your religion, and if you do that, you probably already have done mistake number one for a stable rival. So don't do that. We don't need that. This one is for long reign bonus. Not that important because if you have a long reign, you don't really need this unless you go for full tyranny. Then it can be useful. All close family opinion +5 can also be a reason for stability, because if you do a dynasty realm where you only give land to your own dynasty, then where do we go? Communal identities, same faith opinion, a very good one for same thing. You only install people of your faith and your culture, so this one is also a very good stability one because it just gives flat +10. Communal possessions, not that big of a deal. Useful for popular opinion. Now that's usually not the issue here, right? Then, where do we go? Peek further. I'm just scrolling through this. I have a few notes that I did. Mendicant preachers is a pretty useful one to quickly after conquest convert the faith. Can be seen as a stability part, but not the biggest one. Then we go further. Pacifism is not a stability thing, even if it sounds like it. Let's see. This one is, by the way, the opposite. Doesn't matter. And we just keep going. Ritual celebrations. That's a very good one. Vassal opinion +5. Every vassal. And if they don't join your feast, they pretty much get negative piety, will lose piety. So that is a little bit of a motivation for them. I actually don't know if the AI cares about it, but I assume they do. Brewery building, also popular opinion, can be useful. As said, not the biggest part though. Let's be honest. Yep, that's for faith. So these parts that I've shown you, very useful, very stabilizing the realm. Now for the next part we go for cultures. That's probably where the biggest part comes from. There are a lot of things that are very useful for that. Once again, we are just keep going through the stuff because I personally don't really know where all the stuff is. Like sometimes it's a pain in the ass to find. Here again, close family opinion for +5. Also, again, own dynasty. It's only close family, those of you that it's only for brothers and stuff like that. Not far cousins or something. So it's not the best at the same time. Isolationist, same culture opinion +5. And control growth in brackets. Very good for control, for stability, but also not a very good thing in general. It's isolation, it cuts you off the world. It's not nice to have it. Usually don't want it. Let's say it like that. Okay, let's keep going. Ruling caste is an interesting one. Less common, different culture and populist faction. Mainly useful if you conquer a lot of land or big land where faith and culture is different, because they always rise up if both is wrong. So discussable. I would say it's not needed. Okay, that's that for this part. Warfare shouldn't have anything, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, that's nothing. That's of no use. It's nothing good. Social is also one that's very useful. Charitable, you don't like it gives minus 3% income, which is usually bad. You don't want it, but it also makes your people send you more gifts. So it can be pretty much stabilized with that, and it gives a nice general +5. Can do if you're only going for stability. Usually I would say no. No, that's not the right one. Let's see. Yeah, that's only popular opinion. We don't care about that. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, because I have it already installed. I don't see it here. Loyal subjects. I have it already in my culture. Opinion of League +10. Very useful all across the board. So for your vessels, their vessels, blah, blah, blah. Pretty much until the lowest point. And popular opinion. This one is probably the best ever. Also, loyal is more common. These guys usually never join against you unless they hate you to the devil. Vassals of this culture do not consider different faith or culture when joining. This is bad if they get conquered, but usually that should not happen. Vassals of this language of the league usually also not needed because you are the same language, right? But usually this one is amazing. Amazing, very good. Yep, that's for this one. This is for different, we don't care about that. Even though, if you are a funny guy and you say like, I want a multicultural empire, this one is also very nice for that. And it also increases acceptance gain, so that's the malice of cultures against each other have. Will also go away quicker, no negative opinion of other cultures, so you hate them less, doesn't help you, only helps them. So makes conquering you easier. Not necessarily what you want usually. This is all nothing. This one is funny. Like, it's not really needed, but you can make more feasts in case you need a little bit more opinion over the time. But it's not really, not important, not at all. Okay, that's it. Those are the cultural traits. Up here, I believe there is one as well, if I'm not completely wrong. Wasn't there? House opinion, yeah, house opinion. That's one for, I said again, house equals the dynasty, so bigotry of the dynasty. That means everybody loves the house more. Can be very useful if you do that. This is only for different, doesn't matter. And communal neither matters. Yep. Okay, that's for that. One point that is very powerful is the Dynasty Legacies. They are probably the best and only work if you make a own dynasty realm, because your vassals that do not belong to your house will not, to your dynasty, will not get these bonuses. So be aware that if you do this, it's only for your dynasty. And that is going down glory path until assertive rulers. That's the main one. Vassals less likely to join, claimant, liberty factions, especially liberty, because liberty completely, no wait, it's not liberty. Actually, these two are not the worst, but still bad. They still, destroy the realm in its own way. And the righteousness gives +10 general opinion and more sways. I don't know if the AI uses that, but the general opinion is amazing. But that's not everything. Second one is legitimacy. For one, it gives legitimacy to your people. Modifiers +10%. Popular opinion, amazing. Control growth, amazing. Dynasty opinion, once again for the dynasty, amazing. And Divine Mandate Vessel are Dissolution and Claimant. Dissolution is the worst because that breaks apart the whole realm. So if you have an empire and someone does this, all the kingdoms get independent. So that's game over, pretty much. So this one is a big one. As a second, I would say I would always go for the Glory first. It adds a little bit more all-around stability. Also prestige and all that stuff, Glory Hound Vassals actually here as well. So very stable, very stable. And Dieu et mon droit, not very important, but it can allow your dynasty to have a level 5 education just by nothing. So I think if you have enough points, you can get a level 5 education in your dynasty just by normal teachings, not by university. So that's a very cool one too. Then we are not done here yet. In theory, customs. Customs is a weird one because it gives minority stuff. But minority are pretty much already what we talked about, nothing that you want because they are of different faith or culture. But you always have a little bit of them in your realm. You almost can't get rid of them. So, yeah, it can be useful. Not the best, but it can be useful. I think so. Otherwise in here there's nothing interesting. The law thing also is useful for popular opinion, so it's more like inside your realm stability than anything else. Delegated authority gives +5 for the powerful vessels. Not the biggest deal, but probably the most dangerous vessels of all. So can be useful. Can be useful indeed. And here you have for Sailor vessels, also not a big one. Otherwise, I didn't check through all of them. I haven't made any notes to those because I usually just go for the stability ones anyway. So these ones actually are what I told you are the best. Okay, so Glory, Legitimacy, Law is a decent one as well. And if you don't know, if you actually are doing a complete stable run, go for ordained rulership and all that stuff that gives like a little bit of opinion to some vessel types. It's not really like 5 is not a lot, especially if not all your vessels are part of it. So yeah, not as important. Here's also clergy opinion. That's not really, that's for theological vessels as well, but let's be honest, nobody goes heroic bloodline. Yeah. For gameplay things that you can do to gain stability, usually the stability issue happens when you get a new heir. I had a guy here with 15. Was very bad. I had to do something, and that's why siblings are very useful. Like if you are a person that says, oh, I want only one guy, don't care about more children because I don't lose land. Here is where you run into problems if you don't have sisters, because you can marry all those guys away and they are actually part of your realm, so you get alliances within your vessels, and that's very useful because you can marry them away and you get alliances and they can't join your things here. I have all these guys who cannot join vessels, most of them because I'm married to them. I'm married away to them. Otherwise I would be fucked up already. That's number 1. Number 2 is the feast. If you get a new heir and you hopefully have the money, immediately do a feast. Like, that brings up the opinion of most vessels by 15 or 10. And if you have a nice musician, that's probably better than poor. That also increase opinion when hosting a feast. So that's also very useful. I would always install one. Very useful. The third thing is to install someone in the Chancellor council position and put him on domestic affairs. Doesn't give too much if his diplomacy is not that good, but you know, 7 opinion is usually quite a lot. Don't underestimate that, because a lot of times the vassal opinion is only at +3, so +7 more would mean +10. That's, if you look at this like that, a fuck ton. Just saying. Next thing, obviously, pick a guy. Don't pick the guy with the lowest points, because until you have swayed him into the good points, you're probably already eaten up by the others. Take someone that's like on the verge to hate you, like this guy, and sway him. And guess what? I am already scheming it at this guy. So do that. Don't take those low ones that already hate you to the brick. Nah, not useful. Another one is obviously to give your strongest vassals a councillor position. That's a nice thing if you have a lay clergy. Faith, that's lay clergy. You can give this position to anyone, including your vassals, so you have an extra slot for powerful vassals. That gives +40 and +20 opinion, if I'm not wrong. The minus +40 comes from the negative if they don't have a seat and are powerful, and then they also get a plus on the council, +10 for being on the council, so that's a +50 flat for every powerful vassal. So probably set them up for every slot that you can. This guy was one until just recently, it seems. And this woman here is my spy master. I put someone in that likes me, because the spy master has a +75% rate to killing you, so you usually should avoid that for people that hate you. So yeah, always make sure that this guy doesn't hate you, otherwise you are off the board after like 2-3 years. If they want to kill you, sometimes the AI just doesn't do it. So that's another one. Another piece that you can use is the court positions in the court. 3 guys. Some of these seats can be given to your vassals. Like, let's say this guy's my vassal, right? If you're really having a bad time, you can give away like these places. Like, he has -5 right now. If I give him this slot, he's +5 because he's my master of the horse. So he likes that he gets a cool position, right? That's also a thing you can do. So he likes you a little bit more. And another one you can do is to go to the activities of other people. You always meet other guys. Sometimes they are foreign rulers, so be a little bit aware to who you go. Like this guy is in Norway, so that would be a guy that is viable, because you go here, and maybe this guy is invited, who is your vassal. Maybe the Swede is also invited, maybe even the Danish king. So a little bit, there is always a chance that you meet a vassal of yours, and they just get a little bit of opinion of you. I don't even know how much, to be honest, if you go to foreign ones. But there's always a little bit so far, as I know. One other piece is, if you are an empire like me, I am the Grand Clan, that's an empire in the clan realm, you want to have as little vassals as possible, because the less vassals you have, the less people can rise against you and support a faction. You see, I have a fuck ton of people here because I don't have a single duchy title in this place, and I don't have it given away. This will increase your stability as well. So create a duchy, give it to a guy, and the other guys should automatically get his vassals, and if not, give it to him, because otherwise he hates you again. So that's important. A thing you can do as well is if you are very in a dire situation, you can always print money. If you have money, I don't have money. And increase opinion of people through money gifts. Like, that's also a very... if you're having a very bad time, that's a good idea. Feudal rulers. They obviously have also a few things they can do. Usually with vassals, they have contracts. And you will see this is the opinion modifier of the contract. Now, this guy is 0, means everything is on normal. Nothing is changed. If you go for low, you get 5 per positive, because low means he gives you less, so it's good for him. High is obviously minus 15, so a lot worse than good. Classic, by the way, very human and very correct that people prefer. No, that people like things less than they hate things. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Special contracts do nothing towards that, by the way, so don't really care about this part. There are things down here that give also positive opinion and negative opinion. Like if you force his partition, that's obviously bad. If you give him war declaration, it also gives +5, but this is a stability killer, because that means he can declare war against your crown authority. And yeah, that means pretty much he can attack any of your vassals, so that's awful for stability. Council rights, I would never do this, otherwise you get a council that's absolute trash. So don't do this. It's awful, even if it gives +5. Title revocation, that you can't steal his title. Also not a thing you should have, because sometimes they inherit titles that are totally in the wrong place, so you can take it away and give it to the right person so nobody hates you. Don't do this either. That's for contracts on the feudal part. Now for clan governments, quick rundown. I think it also says it somewhere here. No, it doesn't say it here. Well, anyway, there's 2 things to this. There's house unity, which makes house vassals almost likely to create claimant factions. So they pretty much hate you a lot more. So you want to try to keep that on the top. So they love each other, you know, good house, good family, all good. For clan governments is no alliances powerful clan vassals. So they want alliances, which you can either propose if you have the trade for it, and I think they have to be... I think it is under this one where you can negotiate alliances without a marriage. Otherwise, if you don't have the trade, you have to marry away your children or whoever to your powerful vassals, which I didn't do at all. I think actually you should have polygamous for that. I don't have that, so that may be a mistake, but that's how it is. Yeah, that's one piece. Another piece for clan. Other piece is for your contracts. Actually, it's not contracts in the clan government. It's changed tax decree. That's under the tax collectors. And you can do different stuff here. The basic taxes are pretty much just 2020. Sakta has opinion of league -30, so they hate you a lot more, but you get a lot of more money. League per vessel. Yeah, per vessel that has this, you get more money. So this is pretty much money. Also very dangerous with -30. Ikta is something where you give them more power, more strength, and they like you more. Let's be honest. If this wouldn't take away all the money, this would be the way to go. But unfortunately, you don't get money from these guys. This is half of the money and doesn't give you anything. This is opinion of league, and you only get prestige. I can actually do that very quickly. Let's see. I have +4. Bam, less. I only lose what this guy... Oh, he actually still gets stuff. I don't know how high it is. Probably 10%. Let's see. This is nothing. And... yeah, okay. Nah, I can't check it. But that's a funny one. If you can say, if you are, let's say you are rich and you can say, okay, let's do, for example, this one. And it actually gives a lot of good modifiers, let's be honest. Plague resistance and all that stuff, that's very good. And yeah, there are other things for other religions and stuff like that. Pure money, no levies. It's a funny one. Yeah. Anyway, that's another way to go. And that's very cool. Once I'm just doing a quick nothing. Tribal governments need fame. The higher your fame level, the better. And that's pretty much all you have to do. They can make use, blah blah, probably it says somewhere here. Use prestige to buy men arms. Yeah, it's just prestige. It's all you need. Fame levels. About is the crown authority. This is the limited crown authority that I have on level 2. Now here you may think 1 has the most positive opinion, so that's the best, but in regards of stability, that's really a harsh one. Let's say if your realm is unbelievably unstable, because everything is different culture, different faith, awful, this one is the best, 100%. But there comes a point in the game where you can have number 3, that's in the royal prerogative, that's in early medieval age, that means in here. That is a extreme stability buffer, but also a little bit of a danger by how you can see. But if you have all the other things that we talked about, this shouldn't influence it too much, because what comes next is the worst part. This thing allows your rulers, no, your vassals cannot wage war against other vassals unless they have the hook on their league. So there comes 2 pieces. Don't give hooks to your vassals if you're on level 3, and go to level 3 as quickly as possible. That's amazing. Just simply, they can't kill each other, they can't steal duchies from each other, because there are sometimes like things. Don't think I have it here with the sweet guy. He is not the guy who has, like, someone will have claims on this piece that Norway owns, and whoever has the right for this land, nobody does actually, because nobody is entitled, will be angry on his league that his duchy title is under control of someone else. And people hate that. They give like -25 for each title that they don't own. So people really hate you for that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can find one. I don't think, because I stole this land all at once, so I could give it away in a perfect, stable way. This is me. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, okay, that's a clan vessel thing, hey? Yeah, so that's a thing that would exist as well, but I don't have it here anywhere. So make sure that, like, you know, people who have a duchy title have the duchy titles, kingdom titles have all the kingdom land, and empires are never your vassals, so don't care about that. That's another important stable part. That can help. I've mentioned it in the Dynasty stuff that we have. Prestige. Prestige gives you flat bonuses on opinion. So as a legendary figure, everyone except theological vassals will love you by +30. Disgrace is the opposite. This is nothing, 5, then 20, blah blah blah. So prestige can be a big piece. So that's why I've told you before about the Dynasty option of renowned name with +10 prestige is already so good, just because of this. Same, by the way, for Piety. This is only for clergy, for theocratic. No, that's actually for same faith. Maybe I'm a little bit silly, but I have a feeling that some actually do have this, not for everyone. Yeah, because if you have a head of faith, like the Pope, it's only for theological characters. And this one, same faith. Or if you are the head yourself, you also have for all people with your faith. So if you want to have a stable realm, don't have a Pope. So not a, you don't want a theocratic head of faith. You want none or temporal, but never a spiritual, because a spiritual will cause this buff to go away into the clergy instead of the same faith. So that's also a thing to mention here. Probably the last thing I have to add is dread. Dread pretty much means that you can intimidate vassals. I don't think I have anyone intimidated here. Would surprise me. Because with 32 dread it's not a lot. Only like cowards or something get dreaded by that. Anyway, what it does is it can bring your vassals to not join any uprisings, like no revolts, no nothing. And in some terms you also get bonuses from it, but that's not important for this one. So if you have dread, they are very likely to not join your enemy factions, like, you know, these ones. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The higher the better, the lower the less likely you get it. There are also traits of vassals that ignore this, like brave ones tend to not care about it, while craven ones, perfect that I clicked this guy, are terrified. Yeah, it all happens. Probably paranoid also does something, brave does something arbitrary, fickle does something, arrogant probably as well, like I could imagine. It's a little bit obvious which traits do counter or add up on the dread. So be logic about it. If you see someone not dreaded, then another one is. Yeah, that's dread. Yes, that's what I think to be my way of playing this game in a stable manner. I have tried, or I've thought, I've kind of tried it, but I've also thought of it to make a, pretty much as I said, a faith in everything that is very stable, and then make a lot of empires across the world with my dynasty. And because usually if you do that without all these stability modifiers, they usually always break apart, and that's terrible because the AI just can't hold its empire together unless there's primogeniture, however you call it. Because if someone gets killed, they just get for the next, blah blah blah. Anyway, it's always extremely unstable for the AI, and I have actually done some stuff like that, and they kind of held together. It was just really hard because you always need the faith in the empire to be one, and usually having one culture also keeps it better together. So if you want to do something like that, make sure that the culture at least has high compliance with each other, or is only one culture in the world realm.